All right, well, let's circle back to the data underlying where we started today's show. Donald Trump is now officially underwater with almost every major demographic group in the United States of America. It's hard to find groups remaining that still support the guy. The latest Pew Research poll shows a collapse in support so broad and so consistent that it's not just a political warning sign. This is really the five alarm fire that we've been talking about, especially as we are now only, 7 months from the official start of the 2026 midterm season. This is not the usual partisan split, okay? This is everybody jumping ship. The numbers, and they are ugly, overall 40% approval, 59% disapproval. Among men, only 44% approve. Among women, only 37% approve of Trump. Among young voters 18 to 29, only 36%. Among those ages 30 to 49, only 37%. Approval among black voters, 14%. Underwater with white voters, Hispanic voters, Asian American voters. The only groups where Donald Trump is in the green are Republicans overall and self-identified 2024 Trump voters. That is it. So here's the historical context and why this matters. Every modern president who saw a sustained collapse in their approval across groups this early in a term ended up with one of two outcomes: either an absolute midterm bloodbath that effectively disabled the second half of their term, or a forced strategic pivot to doing something completely different. Now, the strategic pivot would actually be a good outcome for Trump in the sense that the strategic pivot might prevent the economic destruction that many economists are worried about, the declines in approval. It might actually turn things around. It's just that temperamentally, constitutionally, Trump is not particularly well suited to 180 away from his own ideas unless he can do it with some kind of face-saving mechanism. Now, the midterm bloodbath scenario has significant historical precedent. You think of George W. Bush post-Iraq escalation, the 2006 midterms, a disaster for Republicans, absolute disaster. Example number one in sort of recent political history. Example number two, Barack Obama after the Tea Party wave of 2010. Republican landslide, not good for Barack Obama. Donald Trump's own first term, Republicans lost the House in 2018 after his approval went down below 45%. And now we're in Trump's second term, and we really are seeing that exact same pattern, except it's happening faster, it's deeper, it cuts across more demographic groups, and it's happening even earlier in his term. The trigger, two words: the economy. The tariff plan has backfired spectacularly. Markets tanked, China retaliated, consumer confidence is in the toilet, legal resistance to policy rollouts is mounting. We're going to be talking to more governors about that soon. And instead of correcting course, Trump sort of doubled down, kinda, with this half-baked 90-day pause, some capitulation, but then denying the capitulation. He says one thing, Caroline Levitt says another thing. It all seems confused. It all seems weak. It all seems beta, to use their term, not mine. So people can like the show, but hate the outcome. And, you know, the rallies of before and the merch and owning the libs and all of this stuff, it really only gets you so far when you're staring at a higher grocery bill, or your kid's school loses funding, or you look at your 401k or your kid's 529 account. You'll only tolerate so much MAGA hat religion before you say something's not working here. And the proof is in the polling. Trump is now less trusted on every major issue, from trade to foreign policy to abortion, than Democrats and than he previously was. Pew says confidence in Trump is below 50% on all 10 issues that they tested. So there are really three kind of predictions here. Now, I'm not a betting man. I'm very careful about predictions, but the future can only fall into a few categories here. Possibility number one: Trump lashes out, blames fake polls and the deep state at Pew Research Center and says these numbers simply can't be believed. Everybody loves Trump. Everybody's happy with Trump. That's one possibility as a reaction to this polling. Option number two, Trump tries to distract with some stunt, baseless accusation, or some kind of meltdown. But at the same time, I've not seen proof that Trump and the people around him are really able to function in a coordinated fashion such that they could really pull that off coherently. And possibility number three is that Republicans really start getting nervous, really nervous. And if these numbers hold, moderates start distancing, donors get a little hesitant, and 2026 becomes a referendum on chaos, and it goes terribly, terribly for Republicans. In the past, Trump always believed approval ratings were a show of dominance and strength, something to brag about at rallies. But now that they're cratering, we are about to find out what happens when the only numbers Trump cares about turn against him. I think it'll be some combination of those three options I mentioned. Let me know what you think. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what The Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get The Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.